YouTube, how we doing? PPS here. Pass the prop, NFL edition. We're coming at you. What is it? Week 12, week 11? I can't even keep track. We're so far into it already this year. Join as always, Stu. How you doing, man?
Doing good. Can't complain. We had a good Thursday night football game last night. We've got a nice slate this weekend. There's some good teams playing. There's some bottom of the barrel teams playing. And it makes for some good matchups, some fun betting opportunities. And yeah, I even see some high totals sprinkled in there as well. So excited to talk about it, excited to get into these slates, get some winners, and, answer some questions along the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we didn't obviously have a bet in the game, but the Texans went outright. Texas wins outright, stays under the total. Thank God. I had the under as well.
Right. What a sweat that was.
I had a teaser as well, so I was just like, "Fuck, I'm really gonna lose this." I had it. I think I had the under with Woody Marks 50 rushing. So shout out Woody. I don't really understand what the fuck you're running Nick Chubb in between. Like, dude, it was so drastically different watching those two run the ball. One guy's actually like trying to make people miss. The other guy is just running straight 2 yards and falling over. It was like, dude, give him the fucking ball. And then they try to run a screen with Nick Chubb. And I'm like, what are we doing here, bro? What are we doing here? Still probably the worst. I don't understand the play calls on that side at all throughout that game watching it. So don't expect them to do too much, later on. But still a good win.
Yeah, man. I mean, I saw a lot of people complaining about the Bills' offensive line. And I mean, I get it anytime you have sacks like that. But the Bills have been a highly rated offensive line all year long. That's just what happens when you run into a bulldozer on steroids, right? And those boys were fired up. You got to give D'Amico Ryans credit. He said, you guys got, one of the best offenses in football in prime time. Show what you can do. And they fucking did it. And it was really impressive to see. It was a great performance by the Texans defense. But like you said, still some concerns on offense, obviously. Although Davis Mills is looking, kind of what I was saying in that first start. I don't think it's that much of a downgrade. I honestly don't. I think it's pretty linear. And I think kind of the same thing is going to be the case this week when people talk about Aaron Rodgers to Mason Rudolph as well. I think that's another one of those where it's like, if the market adjusts, I don't think it should. Like those guys. Aaron Rodgers doesn't really win the games for the Steelers, and CJ Stroud doesn't really win the games for the Texans either. So my biggest takeaway, once again, if the Bills can't stop the Texans from running the ball, man, in the playoffs, who the fuck are you going to stop? How are you going to get your offense on the field? Like any team with an okay run game, the Texans are the worst running game in football. I mean, I guess with the Raiders O-line, maybe that is pretty close as well. But it's one of those things of like, man, like that's just so telling. And the funny thing is, Woody Marks, we were on the show, we literally said, just stop going up the middle, go outside. Those first couple drives, 3 for 37, outside. And then they're like, nope, we got to go right back up the middle. But still, it was good to see a little bit more adjustments, a little bit more creativity there. But yeah, the Bills, man, I don't know how you could take these guys in the postseason. I don't know how, with their style of play right now, like, I don't know how I could be confident taking them as a favorite in the postseason. Because we know with Josh Allen, they're still going to be favorites. So any team with a running game, I think is going to give these guys extreme problems. I mean, we've seen it a decent amount of the year, but obviously the Texans being able to do it in prime time like that, especially those first couple of drives when you know they're going to run the ball, you know what I mean? Like everyone in the world knows that, and they're still successful. It's like, come on, guys. Like, really, the Texans are doing this to you? Like, so we'll see. We'll see what happens, but not a good sign for the Bills at all, obviously.
Yeah, that game made me come out of it just bet Texans unders because I just can't. That offense is fucking just bad, dude. Like, yeah. Just like you could give a 9-year-old kid who plays Madden the fucking offensive coordinator job and probably give you a better fucking chance of what to do. Oh, this guy's fast. Let's maybe put him to the outside. And I saw Woody had it was like 4 for 40. And I'm like, hell yeah, we're fucking doing something here. And then ends up with 70 fucking yards because we're going to run at least 10 of them inside the fucking zone runs. I'm like, God damn, dude. You can't be this dumb. You're going to run screens with Nick Chubb. What are we doing? Like, put the fucking right personnel in because he was so slow. It actually, I'm pretty sure, got him like an illegal man downfield because he was so slow at getting it all set up that the fucking guy was already 2 yards past. I'm like, oh, fucking blame this guy. You know who to blame is the fucking coordinator here. So, yeah, just unders every time with the Texans. And man, yeah, it's just a bad look. It didn't really, help me for either team. Just got to make sure I just don't bet them in the playoffs.
Yeah, my thing though is more like I think if there is a time you bet the Texans, it's in the playoffs. Actually, that's when this game was essentially a playoff game. You know what I mean? For like all intents purposes, like seeding, like the Texans needed to win this game, right? If they lose this game, the season's technically maybe not over, but it's over for all intents purposes. Like I don't know. I don't think I don't know. I don't want to take the Texans. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like endorsing that, but I just think that time of year, especially you get in a cold outdoor kind of game or something like that, that's when like defense can really swing you a game. Because also the Texans should have had a defensive score, if we remember as well, that some dumbass got a stupid block in the back on Dawson Knox for no reason. That took that away as well. So yeah, fun game though. I mean, even that hook pass at the end with Shakir, you're like, are they going to actually still win this anyway? It was good stuff.
Yeah, it was a crazy game. It was a crazy game. We didn't have a bet in the game. I did lose my one NBA play. Russ only played 28 minutes. I was on triple double watch there. I had it at like plus 1100. I was feeling pretty good about it in the first half, but yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened offensively, but the Kings got 30 pieces again last night. Just an absolute shit show of a roster there right now. But yeah, NFL heading into today, 35-29, 8.46 units. Stu, what's the game catching your eye here this week as we move into, I believe, like I said, I think it's week 12 now.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's Patriots Bengals. I normally don't like to double dip with like the games I'm betting on. I mean, fuck it. Never mind. I'm betting on that one. I'm changing it then. We're going to go to Browns Raiders, baby. This is going on the big screen. I don't give a fuck what else is going on because I want to see Shedeur Sanders against the Raiders. And then I want to see that Browns defense against that offensive line as well. Like that game, I don't know, man. I see that 36.5 total. I'm just like, how are 37 points going to be scored in this one? Like
defense might score 14 points.
That's fine.
Realistically.
Even if you 14 points, then you add in 3-4 field goals. You're still staying under, even in the craziest circumstances. Like I don't know. Maybe.
I think Judkins get 30 carries.
Yeah, and I don't know. I fucking bet on Judkins twice this year when he's gotten 20 carries and he hasn't gotten over 80 yards in either of those fucking games. So I don't know, man. He can get 30 carries for 30 yards. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. I want to watch that game. Like, it's Shedeur, obviously. He has his own tab on DraftKings next to rushing.
He's not good. He's not good, bro.
It's just so funny. No, yeah, I know. There's a bar that I go to like a happy hour at a couple of times a week, and the bartenders there are super dope, and they both bet on sports. And the first thing I walked in, they're both telling me that they're on Shedeur overs this weekend, and I'm like, guys, don't do this to yourself. I'm like, if you want to bet an over, interception, 2 interceptions, sacks. That's where we want to be betting the overs because in terms of yards, he told me he's betting 2 passing touchdowns. I was like,
in what realm is this man throwing a passing touchdown? If it's inside the 20, it's 4 handoffs.
Yeah.
It's 4 handoffs.
I think the vibe I'm getting in like the more general public is people are like, I like Shedeur. He was good at Colorado, even though that's not even really true. But that's what, that's what the vibe is. Yeah. And so I think that even actually opens up some under opportunities. But either way, I'm just excited to watch it, man. It's a bit of a spectacle. Like, it'll be fun. And the Raiders are the perfect team to actually give him a chance of winning because that offensive line is so bad. So like that defense could just win themselves. So I'm very curious how that game goes.
Yeah, I'm ready to watch ESPN on Monday, and Shedeur Sanders is like 9 for 20 for 80 yards, and they win, and they're like, well, Shedeur got the win.
That's what I'm rooting for.
Did a good job, and he got the win for these guys, and he needs to be the starter the rest of the year.
I want that so bad. I want that to happen so badly. Exactly the way you said it is exactly how I want it to go. Like 2 picks, 85 passing yards, 15 incompletions. But he gets a gritty win.
But they win.
Gritty win. And then it's going to be great.
I have to give some quick love. I got to give my shout out here. I got quick love to Dan Orlovsky, bro. Because the only person who keeps because the gyms need to shut that shit off, bro. Every time I'm at the gym, it's the same fucking thing on First Take. And I can't listen to them. And I get 35 seconds of reality from Dan Orlovsky, and then I have to listen to Cam Newton and Stephen A. Smith just fucking talk stupid shit. Just like, I'm just like, God damn, just let Orlovsky talk. I'd rather just have him and the fucking main host talk for 30 minutes because it's like talking to a fucking wall, bro. I thought that, getting drafted to a guy like Stefanski, who's what, 2-time coach of the year, right? That you wouldn't have to hear people think, oh, we don't want him to succeed. What the fuck, dude?
That a lot.
Like, what are he doesn't want Shador to. What is he's fucking an NFL coach? You think he gives a fuck who's his quarterback? Oh my god, dude, I can't even. It's just hopefully, like I said, I'm calling the stat line now. 9 for 21, 2 picks, 5 sacks. Dude's just and probably 4 from Max Crosby, bro. Probably 4 from Max Crosby. That dude might just kill the guy. He might actually just kill him. But they win like 17-12. Daniel Carlson's got a leg. I'll give him 4 field goals. Give me that. It's the best I can do.
Yeah, that's my former fantasy kicker, so I always root for him. He's a good egg, you know what I mean? But no, yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm very curious. Either way, it's gonna be funny. You know what I mean? That's my takeaway. And also, if Shador throws. Actually, the best possible thing might be if Shador throws for like 250 passing yards and looks good. That actually might be the best outcome, just because I think that would truly like create maybe like a mini civil war on Twitter. Like people would go so insane. You would see what's that chick's name? The one that's nonstop support of him. She went viral last week. She's like former ESPN. I don't remember her name. Anderson something.
Oh, yeah.
Her account is just a propaganda account. She's gonna take the biggest victory. Oh my god, I'd actually want that to happen more because just the internet content from that would be spectacular. Like Shador crushing the Raiders, because then everyone else would then come in with it's the Raiders. What are you gonna do? And then they'd say, well, what is he supposed to do? He can't pick the team. Thank you, Josina. There you go. Yeah. Her account is hilarious, by the way. People get so mad at it, but it's like you got to look at it like that Dove Cleat whatever guy. He just rage baits people.
Yeah, and he does a good job at it because it makes me want to punch him in the face every time.
The other day, he called DJ Chark like a generational receiver, something like that. And I was like, this guy's pretty good. Like if you're not taking the post seriously, and she's so funny. Like I don't know. I hope he wins. That's all. I want the internet fallout so bad because I don't watch any of these shows, so I don't care about Stephen A. Smith. It's all Twitter. That's what I'm seeing. And I want the Twitter battle.
I'm just looking through the rest of the games. He has a chance to not do horrible. I mean, Niners defense is ass.
This
Tennessee,
is probably his last chance though, unless he does really good.
Tennessee is the game after that, and then you have to go to Chicago in the snow, and then he has to play Buffalo.
They need to give us that Tennessee. We need Cam Ward versus Shador. That's what we need him to make it to. That's what we need. Because
do like 4 sacks, bro. 3.5, 4 sacks apiece. Like very possible, very much on the table.
The problem is the Sanders thing isn't like a secret. So Crosby sacks going to be like minus 250, no joke. I don't know if anyone's posted it yet, but yeah, like that's the only scary thing is like the juice on those is going to be, I would bet, pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think I know I didn't even get to my game of the week, but I think I'm gonna go with Saints Falcons. Give me the Saints Falcons, bro.
Ooh, okay.
Saints Falcons. Obviously, there's better games that I will talk about here in a little bit that I have my bet in, but the Falcons are 3-point dogs this week to the Saints. In New Orleans with big bad Kirk Cousins at the helm here, bro.
Interesting.
No Drake London is pretty much 9 in the box. Throw it to Darnell Mooney. I have him in fantasy now. Let's get 150 and 2 tutties, bro. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah. Okay. At first I was going to say I never watched the Saints play ever. So I was like, absolutely not. I disagree. But this is a good point of like, what are the Falcons going to do on offense? Like Bijan and Algier just straight into a brick wall can only work so much. So
30 times.
That's a good point.
They'll get first downs.
That's equally as ugly. I got to give you credit. You found another nasty one. So yeah, I didn't even know. I was looking at some Saints props just because Shuck was actually kind of good, or not good. That's a little stretch. But
yeah, I was gonna say you're being very, very generous with saying
he's better than Rattler. He was throwing it downfield. He had some nice throws. I mean, it was at least intriguing to see what he did last start. So Atlanta's a much tougher defense though, so I don't think that's necessarily going to happen, but we'll see. We'll see. Definitely an ugly one.
All right, so we're to a good spot. We're 11-7 on the year. Dogs of the week. Where are you going this week, Stu?
Yeah, there's some good dog options. There's some good ones. I'm not going to pick the Browns, even though I just talked about it. Even the Cardinals are pretty tempting, but I'm going to stick with what my plan was all along, and I'm going to take the freaking Bengals because I like the Bengals no matter who the quarterback is. But, I haven't seen an official announcement. I haven't seen an update today with Burrow.
No, just questionable.
I think Burrow's going to play. I think that's what's happening here. By what I'm seeing right now, I think Burrow's going to play. So if Burrow's suiting up, this goes from 6.5, 7 to 5, again, like that kind of range. So yeah, I just think it's going to be a close enough game that you also have to factor in that the Patriots lost Milton Williams on the defensive line, who's maybe like the most underrated player in football this year, been like a top 10 defensive lineman. Take him out of the equation. Like, I'm curious if the Bengals can run a little bit more. I'm curious if Joe Burrow is back, what he looks like. But also if Joe Burrow's not back, like, I know Flacco just got crushed last week and it wasn't pretty, but like, I still trust Flacco to backdoor cover games at the end of the day. And I know Jamar Chase being out is obviously what I think is really driving this line to being crazy. But I still have enough faith in like the Bengals just in general to kind of move the ball against the Patriots defense that it's really not that good. Like they have Gonzalez on the outside. Obviously he'll match up with Higgins a lot. That'll be a fun matchup, but the Bengals have Yoshivas, who's, kind of able to step in. They've got, good tight end room there. They've obviously got a couple guys like Burton and Tinsley off the bench as well. Like, I'm not as worried. So I think it'll be a close game, and I think the Bengals can probably keep up enough to cover. So I like the Bengals. Thomas says he's got some +7. I was trying to see if there's any in the market right now, but I'm not 100% sure. But either way, I think it honestly would move down to like, okay, yeah, you can get a +7 at -108, so even better than -110. So I'm gonna take that 7. I need the hook right there, because if you can get it on FanDuel, yeah, that's like biggest book right there. So yeah, Bengals, I think they can keep it within a touchdown. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say fuck it and take the Steelers money line, bro. I think I'm just going straight money line. I'm seeing a lot of 2.5s at like +100. Don't hate it, but I'm getting like +135 on them, just straight money line. Mm-hmm. Kind of like that. If I can find a 3, I would roll with the 3.
Yeah, I see 3 -120. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll take 365. You can get it. Fanatics.
Okay, that's good. I'll take the +3.
Your boys Rivers have it as well, I believe.
Awesome. Yeah, the little +3 for sure. I love the Steelers this week, bro. I don't really care who's at quarterback. Honestly, I wish it was Rodgers. I really hope so. I saw he's questionable, so he might play this week. He got into practice. I just want it for the sheer domination. I will be betting Aaron Rodgers to score a rushing touchdown in that game. Yeah. If he plays. Auto bet. He goes there in Chicago. Gonna be cold as shit. That dude is scoring a rushing touchdown. It's gonna be like 15-1. It's gonna happen. The dude wants to put the belt back on. Doesn't matter what team he's on. He wants to go out there and talk that shit. I'm rolling with Rodgers if he's playing. I don't even mind Rudolph, to be honest. But that run defense for the Bears, I'm watching it get switched up this week, bro. It's gonna get switched up by Jalen Warren. Who I really like. I think they feed DK. I don't really know who's going to stop him on the outside. I didn't see a Jalen Johnson's coming back yet. This is a tough game for you to want to bring a guy like that back, right? Because it's like it'd be cold. This is a fucking grimy ass game, man. It's going to be just a punch in the mouth, and it's like we saw last year. The Chiefs were that team that won every 1-score game. It comes back around. Now they're 0-5 in those games. The Bears are just fucking dude. They did it against the goddamn Bengals, who had 2 guys run into each other. That was 1 win. Jackson Dart goes out and they score 14 points in the last 2 minutes because Russ couldn't move a ball an inch, right? Looking at these wins, bro, I'm like, sign me up for TJ Watt to just absolutely wreak havoc in this fucking game, bro, because I think they're going to put a ton of pressure on these dudes. Sign me up. Steelers +3.
Yeah, that I wanted to do that one as well. Because the Bears, I mean, the fucking regression is going to hit. These guys they have the most turnovers in football, generated more EPF turnovers than anyone else. Like, that's kind of one of the easiest things you can look at for regression when you're not an ungodly talented team, which they're not. They're really not even really an averagely talented team on defense. Maybe with guys getting healthier now, we're starting to trend back in that direction. But like, I don't think the magic beans are going to last forever. And then Pittsburgh is the king of magic beans. Like, you can't out magic beans Pittsburgh. That's their whole thing. That's how they win these games. Mm-hmm. Block punts, random shit, turnovers when you never expect it. Like, that's the Steelers game, and you're going into their world now. So I agree. I like the Steelers. I think my one concern is just when you don't change your defense that much, like, you can get explosive plays generated against you. And like Ben Johnson, like, I do trust him at this point to cook up some good stuff. It's just like, I believe there's going to be a couple really big plays in this game, but it's just like, can you do the rest, like the meat and potatoes
average
in between? Yeah. And that's when I think the Steelers, the sacks, the pressure, like you said, kind of comes. So I'm with it. The Steelers would be the side. And if not, I don't know who Chicago's playing next week, but it might be is it Packers? Is it division? Like,
no, the Packers play the Lions on Thanksgiving. Okay. They play the Eagles.
Yeah, give me the
Eagles minus 15, minus 21. I'm gonna talk shit about them here in a sec because I'm rolling my boy Big Bad MVP coming at you, bro. But fuck, dude. And guess what? When it comes down to it, and if it's a close game, am I trusting Cairo Santo kicking a 50-yarder or 60-yarder? I know he just hit the 45-yarder to win last game. Or am I trusting Chris Boswell, who doesn't fucking miss? That man doesn't miss field goals, bro. That dude is – I've played Chris Boswell in fantasy twice this year. The dude's averaging 20 fucking points against me. The dude just fucking smokes it, bro. Yeah, I'm on the first half over 127.5. That's what I'm playing there.
Is that the highest first half over of the year?
Mm-hmm. But I told you those teams, and I'm pissed that I didn't take it on here because I told you at the end. Remember, I told you when we got off, I'm like, I go Blazers, bro, and they're playing my Bulls. They're playing them, and those two teams are my best two. Those are two of my wagons, and they shot like shit in the first quarter and scored like 70 points in the second quarter, bro. Shout out Denny for that triple-double, baby. He's a fucking machine, absolute machine. I love that dude. Love it, love it, love it. All right, Stu. Time to go. I'm going to kick it to you to start us off. You have the first play for us on the show starting in that noon slate.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm giving it a little retweet right now.
Yeah, let me pop over there quick.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm a big fan of Drake May this week. I like a lot of different ways to bet him. I was just talking about that game earlier, how I thought that the Bengals were going to be able to catch up. And that's because I think they're going to be playing from behind. Because while everyone kind of does want to defend like the Bengals, oh, Burrow's going to be back, blah, blah, blah. The problem with this team is really the defense. The defense is god-awful. Like, they've struggled. So they can't really stop the run. They can't really stop the pass. And they've really struggled with explosive plays. And then you go on the other side and you look at a guy like Drake May. This whole offense is built on generating explosive plays. That's what they do really well. That's how they win these games. That's how they, cover by margin. And we've seen May be awesome down the field. Like, whether it's man coverage, zone coverage, he's had a lot of success just looking down the field and hitting his guys. And what I like about this matchup and why I always go kind of like the longest completion with him is because there's a bunch of different guys that can cash it for you. Like, normally if I'm looking at a longest completion, I'll go like, okay, like, who's actually the wide receiver that would really benefit the most? Because normally you're going to get, a 15 or 10-yard discount between the quarterback number and the guy. But the Patriots are kind of one of those teams where you really can't, like, it's hard to pick one guy. Booty is obviously kind of the downfield guy he has the most chemistry with. It looks like he's going to be re-entering the lineup and playing again. Matt Collins, another guy that is downfield, is still going to be rotated in at least 30-40% of snaps. Demario Douglas barely plays, super limited role. When he's out there down the field, deep slot targets, deep slot routes, he's literally covered this number for May in multiple games where he played less than 30% of snaps. So like, Douglas is like kind of impossible to bet down to down, but he's been such a good addition as they've gotten him more involved later in the year. And then you're not even counting Stephon Diggs, who's the biggest name on this team. He's doing more short yardage stuff right now. But then, hey, guess what? We saw Henderson break 2 really big runs last week. You got him on a screen pass. And then finally, when you're going through the Bengals, they've actually lost this to tight ends alone 4 times this year, which is kind of insane to allow that many big plays to tight ends. I'm not saying Hunter Henry is the fastest guy in the world at this point, but he's also been another very reliable target. His longest reception is set at 18.5 this week. That's crazy. I was going to bet the over until I saw it was 18.5. And I was like, okay, the books kind of caught up to that one as well. They were going to set a number that was very fair. So I just like how many different options we have across the board. One guy that's been really under the radar for the Bengals this year is DJ Turner. He's been a fantastic corner, probably a top 10 corner this season, playing lockdown, one-on-one coverage against whoever your number 1 wide receiver is. Who are you going to take out of this game? Stephon Diggs running those 8-9 yard routes most of the time. That's probably who he's going to see about 50-60% of the time. Then the other side is going to be Kayshon Boutte. Well, guess what? Kayshon Boutte doesn't get separation over me. That's not how he wins, right? You can be in his face. You just have to be man enough to steal the ball from him, 6'4", in those jump ball situations. And that's what he's best at. So it's kind of one of those where Turner's a guy I want to avoid when I'm playing this team, but it's also like, who's he going to take away? Like, there's no clear option. You know what I mean? I guess Diggs would be the most clear, and that's the guy I'm least worried about for going over this prop. So I just think if May does go over his passing yards, if he's getting into the 250s, 260 range, it comes from these explosive plays. That's how they generate a lot of their, offense this season. Before last week, which was against the Jets and kind of a, they were up all game. It was just kind of chill, nothing crazy. He did not go over, but he went over in 5 straight games with much better defenses. And now you get a bottom of the barrel defense right here. Once again, I'm almost more scared that the Bengals just kind of get their asses kicked like last week, but I believe in the Bengals to put up a fight, especially if Burrow's back there. And I think they can, score enough offense to make this game a shootout, because the Bengals have been the best shootout partners in football this year. They will let anyone score on them, and they can normally do enough on the other side to keep that offense going. And honestly, Ramondre Stevenson, Henderson, it's just still not the best rushing attack. Even if they're full strength, it's still their strength is their passing. And I think we're going to see a decent amount of that. And I just think any Drake May passing yards, any longest completion stuff is going to be pretty good. I'll probably have bring his passing yards to 230 and parlay that with something else as well.
I love that. Yeah, I like the buy down options on May this week. Just, hopefully the Bengals can keep it close, right? Obviously, if not only just for your bet, but for this as well, to kind of push May into that shootout type. And talk about a shootout. I think this one turns into a shootout. I'm playing for 2 units. I'm going with my MVP, baby, Dak Prescott. 241.5 passing yards. He's at home. I think that's one of the biggest things you got to talk about here is you look at the Cowboys games, man, and the difference between Dak at home and outside. It is big. It is a realistic difference. And obviously they can play a lot faster. And when you're rolling with, high-end athletes like CD and Pickens, I think that's a big deal. It's a big deal, obviously, to play at home in these spots. I know they lost the first one. He had 188. He hit this number in 5 straight Eagles games prior to that, if you want to go down the list. And all those, obviously, last year I don't believe he played against the Eagles. So I think this is a big one, right? You're getting a lot of pressure on you, right? A lot of pressure on you after that big win, even though it was the Raiders. But take that with a grain of salt. But what I do like here from Dak and going through some of these numbers on the Philly side is, Love hasn't been playing well. Goff playing outside. I'm just looking at all these numbers on the quarterbacks they've been facing. Jackson Dart threw the ball under 30 times in both games because he was running all over them. Scatterbo was running on him. I know there was injuries in those games. I'm not discrediting them. And they got to face and they lost to Bo Nix, right, who we obviously don't rate that well. He went over this number. Bo Nix got 242 against him, right? And then I go down this list too, and it's shit. Carson Wentz threw for 300 on him. Carson Wentz, I know he had 2 picks. He didn't play well, but he's getting to the number here. I think the Cowboys get Philly to actually play into a shootout game, which they don't do very often, and they don't throw enough to make that happen. I'm hoping Williams in the middle can make a difference on the run game side, and I hope that they make Jalen Hurts chuck it a little bit. I hope they start making them move a little bit faster than their snail's pace that they like to play against, right? On top of that, Dallas second in the NFL in first half scoring. I think they come out quick, and that kind of maybe speeds up Philly, because I don't think Dallas can be able to run the ball here. I don't think that this is a game where you're trying to, get cute and play Javonte in this spot. I think that's going to be a very tough matchup for Javonte to try to get anything done with Jalen Carter obviously just disrupting everything. I just think this is about 15 yards too low for me, man. I think this is just a little too low. If it was in Philly, no chance. I wouldn't take it. But I don't know. We're seeing two wide receiver ones here. Obviously, Quignon's going to take out one of them. You don't know. I know he did that again. I'm pretty sure he guarded Pickens in the first matchup. Pickens went 3 for 30 in that game. But CD went for what, 110? I mean, he went for 110 in that game. And I believe there was, I don't know if it was a drop or a call back, but I'm pretty sure CD had 2 opportunities for more touchdowns in that game. A lot of stuff left on the table, a lot of meat on the bone there. I know Dak only threw for 188 in that game, but I'm going in with Dak. This is that type of game where I told you there's these games throughout the season where Cowboys find a way to keep themselves in the press, right? They keep themselves in there long enough. Do I think they win? I don't know. I hope so. I hope they do. Just for some of my MVP tickets and watching Josh Allen just plummet his odds to oblivion after that game last night. But I think that this is if you're going to get it done and they're going to win, it's got to be on Dak's shoulders, right? It's pretty much got to be Dak doing his thing. I know it's not going to be the most popular bet in the world, but I'm going back to Dak in another big game.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like it. My first thought was kind of like Javonte unders, honestly. You know what I mean? So, like, this obviously correlates with that. My biggest thing with the Eagles, and, like, I really don't bet on Eagles games much at all, especially with overs, just because their ideal version of a game is, like, the worst possible game, right? That's why everyone hates them on prime time. It's because they want to slow it down. They want to make it ugly. They want to just grimy the game up as much as possible. And now that they're healthier, I think they can do a better job with that. But obviously, I think you got to point out too that like getting Goff in outside conditions and stuff like that, some of these recent things have kind of played a little bit more into that. And honestly, the Packers haven't really looked like a legitimate team in a couple weeks either. Maybe
I agree for sure.
So it's one of those where like, if it's whoever can dictate the pace, I think is going to have more success. And this game is the one that, the season's over if you don't win for it, right? I mean, that's got to be the messaging coming in. I mean, once again, it's not that there's like, it's like the Texans. Like you're not going to win the Super Bowl this year, but every game matters. These guys are professional athletes. You're trying to, make the playoffs. You're trying to have that crazy run. And I think I don't know why if you're Dallas, you wouldn't believe you can do it either until you're mathematically eliminated. Like this offense can play with anyone, no doubt about it. So, it's all gonna come down. And I will say, I don't know if there's really an offense better kind of equipped to attack this Philly defense. Like maybe, I guess the argument probably be like Mahomes or an Allen. But I mean, when you talk about 2 wide receiver ones where you just can't have Mitchell lock someone down, obviously you have DeJean in the slot, but CeeDee Lamb's really only playing 40-50% in the slot as well. He's going to be moving around. Like Ferguson as well is another good option. Like this team is pretty stacked. There's a lot of talent around. And hey, even got my boy Turpin if he wants to make one of those crazy, special teams kind of changing touchdowns or something like that as well. So I like it. I think Dak has some life right here. And I think, I'm a fan of the play.
Yeah, Ryan, he's 100-1 when I bet him. So I bet him at 100-1. And if they find a way to make it in the playoffs, Dak's got to have the craziest fucking stat lines to push this team into the fucking playoffs. Because you look at who they play. Did you look at their schedule down the stretch? Pretty sure they have KC. They got the Vikings. Like, there's some games I can get into some shootout stuff here. So it's like not the Vikings as much, but they have I think the Lions are another one. Like, they got games I can get into shootouts. And if they're getting into shootouts and they have any semblance of making the playoffs with a freaking historical bad defense, it's going to be because Dak just goes absolutely fucking crazy. And the media talks about him more than they talk about pretty much anyone else, especially when the Cowboys are winning. And no, I remember what I was going to say too. My rant was about this because I was looking at this too. So you ever watch because like I said, they put all this shit on at the gym. So I'm just like forced to watch it. And it was the Good Morning Football, like whatever channel they're on, they have their fantasy rankings.
Sure.
And I'm just sitting here and I'm just like looking at their start and sit-ems. And it says sit Dak. It says sit Javonte. It says sit I don't know if it's I don't remember what it was. It was sit Ferguson, I think. And then it also said sit Eagles defense. I'm like, if you're gonna sit all these dudes, why are you starting these motherfuckers? Like, if you think they're gonna suck that bad, they're only 3-point dogs. It's not like they're huge dogs here, guys. It's not like they're still projected to score 24 points in this game. So I just don't think Javante's doing anything in this game or any sort of run stuff. For me, I think that freaking Dak might be their leading rusher on that side of the ball, to be honest, on those fucking runaways in there. So I just thought that's funny because I'm like, if you're going to sit all these dudes, wouldn't you want to start the fucking defense if you think they're going to suck that bad? Like, damn, dude, just didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, dude, this is it's like – make it make sense. Like I can't. It doesn't add up in my head.
Yeah, I mean, I think too in fantasy, you just got to start your good defenses, no matter what the matchup is.
Yeah, the Browns got me.
Texans last night, I really did. I thought about it, and then I was like, nah, you just got to play them. Like, even if it's the Bills, they could score 40. You just got to play them. And hey, I might, if I win this week, it's going to be because I played the Texans defense. So, yeah. And I guess the only one of those I could get is Ferguson. Like, I'm not sure who you're benching Dak for. Your team must be a 10-teamer or something, or just a really good team.
I'm not benching Dak.
No, I know, I'm not you. I just meant the general world or whatever. But Ferguson, I think it's because the Eagles have only allowed one tight end touchdown all year. So it's kind of like tight ends are touchdown dependent. Even if Fergie gives you his 4 for 40, that's obviously pretty solid if you're PPR or whatever. But theoretically, I can see the argument for that one right there. But honestly, just real quick before we move on, I think obviously, I don't think Dak's going to win MVP. I know you're hoping, but But either way, when you look at MVP, I don't want to give it to any of these guys. Stafford 120. I guess
crazy.
But Drake May, really against the easiest schedule possible. Like, I don't know if I'm really. I know Drake May's been awesome, fantasy MVP, but like real life, I don't know. Jonathan Taylor passed. It's quarterback award. Sorry, Josh Allen. Maybe he's got enough time to make up for it. Mahomes maybe has enough time to make up for it, but we've given it to Mahomes enough already. Like, do we need to do that again? Like, at that point, you're already into the 35-1 Hurts. Hurts is obviously not going to win MVP. I'd almost rather Sam Darnold at 51, I think. That would be – but then they're going to give the credit to the defense. So it's like –
yeah, they'll give it to the defense, and you have JSN. Like, it's like JSN should be in that award.
So I don't even know who I would give. Like, if you give me the ballot, I guess it's Matthew Stafford just because – but it's, I don't know. Like, I don't want to give it to any of these guys. You know what I mean?
I know it's open. It's open. There's not like it's not like Shohei, bro. Like, Shohei is winning that shit. Like, it doesn't matter what stats you come up with to give it to the other guy. Shohei is winning that shit. Like, there's not anything like that this year. There's not like a team with one loss that a dude's just playing out of his fucking mind. Right. So, hey, and you have to play the Chiefs. You got to play a lot of big games yet, dude. There's a lot of big games on that docket that is going to ask me, hey, do it.
The craziest one I can think of, and you're obviously going to hate this, but if Caleb Williams wins out, he could maybe get
no chance they're winning out.
Like,
there's no chance.
You need a team to win out too. You need your guys. So I'm saying at the same 100-1 price point, they've already on this crazy run. Who else are you going to give credit? I guess Ben Johnson would win Coach of the Year at that point.
Yes.
But even
I'd rather bet that.
There's no one else good on the team. So, or that good enough to take much credit away. You know what I mean? You got Monungai and Swift. You got DJ
If
Moore.
they go through if they actually beat the Eagles and then they beat the Packers, I'm pretty sure, and like if they beat them in Lambeau, because that's their next 2 or 3, then you got to play the Lions again. Like, that's crazy. If they do that, then fuck it, dude. Like,
I don't even know why I'm talking about this. So we're obviously all just talking for the sake of talking, but my point I'm just trying to make is like, I don't like this board at all for MVP. Like, I don't know. I don't know who I'd even pick. I feel like the way we're going with the hype and the media and stuff, I feel like they're trying to set it up for like Drake May, which I kind of get why, and he's been good. I don't want to take anything away from him, but like, he really hasn't felt like he MVP. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I'm sure we'll maybe talk about this in a couple weeks with some updated odds or something, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I looked at their schedule. This is the Cowboys schedule the rest of the year. You got Philly at home, Chiefs at home next week, at Detroit, Shootout City. That's Shootout City, bro. You get to play Minnesota at home. Yeah. Then you get to play at home again against the Chargers, who are giving up everything, and then you play at Washington. That's their schedule.
Yeah.
That is Shootout City, bro, and they're all primetime games.
That's the problem is that it doesn't matter though. Like he's already done the shootouts. They just need to win. Like his record is what disqualifies him, not anything else. So it would be better if it was Panthers and all bad teams every week.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't need the spotlight at this point. It's more just you need to win games so that you can qualify, which is not gonna, unfortunately, unless they have an insane run. Which once again, the Cowboys are better than they get credit for right now. I just don't think they're gonna be able to do the Hall of Fame, like take down. It would be sick if they did, though. Honestly, you'd take the victory lap of a century. So
I'd take my Geno Smith one that I had a couple of years ago. Thoughts on Kenneth Walker over 58.5 rushing yards? I have seen this as pretty popular ticket on Twitter. I don't know if I could do it. I think me and Stu agree when we bet Kenneth Walker, we take longest rush or we take 100 yards. Right. I mean, you're better off doing long shots and ladder. But just to trust them to give it. Do they play fucking Holani, bro? They play George Holani.
I know.
In the red zone. In the red zone, George Holani gets touches. That's all you need to know about Seattle, bro. That's all you need to know.
That was rough. I noticed I was counting them. He had 3 first half touches, appearances, whatever. I could not believe it. Because I'm like, Holani is the preseason hero. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, really? Now is the time? And that was an interesting one right there. But I don't hate it. It's 58 right now. It's already 61 in some books. So I'm sure it probably closes 64, 65. I bet some popular people post it, maybe even gets up 69. So you'll probably get CLV, which means it's probably a solid enough bet here. But I really can't trust this coaching staff whatsoever. And honestly, the one good thing about the Titans is that interior defensive line. Jeffrey Simmons almost single-handedly won the game last week. That guy is a monster inside. So I think the action will really come from Stafford kind of dicing you up with JSN again and kind of looking real good. So, I would probably bet some Darnold if there's any, team that could keep it close on the other side. And I'm just not sure that's the case.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're better off betting Walker than trying to bet fucking Sharp. Sharp's not doing anything.
Yeah.
He's pretty much all in the middle. At least Walker's at least getting outside. Thoughts on Saquon under rushing yards? I'll pull up what they're offering right now on that. Stu, any thoughts on this one? I know I feel like we're going to be both on the same page that we're just not fully sold on this run defense from the Cowboys. But we are seeing Saquon, who's kind of, been hit or miss, 73.5 rushing yards this week. What's your thoughts there?
Man, I know that maybe it's because I'm on a backup running back kick recently. I think I'd almost rather take fucking Tank Bigsby. I mean, the guy 6 yards. It's going to be, maybe they adjust now, but he comes in and every time I go, oh shit, Saquon actually looks good again. And then you're like, oh, that's not Saquon. That's fucking Tank Bigsby. And it's like, am I wrong? Has he not looked?
He's looked very good.
You're only getting a couple touches, so it's not fair, to compare that. But still, every touch I've had, I've literally had that where, because I'm watching 3 screens or whatever. I'm like, oh shit, Saquon just looked good, and then it's like, oh, that was not.
Nope, that's not him.
That guy that looks faster than him is because he's faster than him. So I don't know. It's tough. The volume's always going to be there with Saquon. I don't really know if I could take the under here, even with that beefed up defensive line, and Logan Wilson and the other linebacker there get overshown getting back. So I don't know. I don't really have a strong take on that one, honestly. I think I'd probably just stay away. But honestly, if they give me a Bigsby 7.5 rush yards or something like that, I think I might be on board for that.
Okay. I'll take it. Terrence, you already know, bro. You already know I'm gonna do that shit, bro. I'll be laddering. I also think I might take touchdowns, probably 3 touchdowns. That's probably a nice price, a little better than the plus 215 I had against that god awful Raiders defense. But Stu, I think it's time. Let's get a quick recap. I know you got a long shot for the people. We'll get these guys what they came here for.
Sounds good. We got Drake May over 36.5 longest completion, minus 115 over on FanDuel, and I'd play this one to 37.5 as well.
Awesome. I'll be playing a 2-unit, first 2-unit of the season. I'm going on Dak over 241.5 passing yards at minus 110 there. Stu, you got us covered. I don't have a long shot outside of just taking Dak to oblivion, but I'll let you take it away.
Sounds good. Yeah, I actually shouted this one out before, way earlier in the year. just like randomly. And now we actually get a real chance where he's going to play. I'm going Michael Tinsley, actually former commander, funnily enough, over on the Bengals right now. And so what's going on, obviously, you got no Jamar Chase is one thing. You got a game where you're 7-point underdogs and a 50 total. So there's going to be points scored. And if you're trailing later in the game, you're probably going against prevent defenses. Like, I think there's good opportunities for touchdowns to be scored in this one. You got a defense that hasn't allowed a freaking 50-yard rusher all year long to kind of take away Chase Brown a little bit. And then T. Higgins now has one-on-one coverage with one of the better shadow corners in football. So when you take out Higgins, it's kind of like you got Noah Fant, which I think makes a lot of sense. I like Noah Fant as well. And then you got Yoshivas, who, I mean, has one of the worst, I don't know, I was going to say it has the worst drop percentage in football, but it's bottom 10, like bottom 5, just drop city so far this year, and in preseason as well. And then you got Jermaine Burton, who I like, but this coaching staff hates. He reminds me of Jalen Hyatt, where just every year I'm like, why doesn't this guy ever play? He's fast as hell, and at least just let him run down the field straight. And Burton even got in a couple catches last year, and people were starting to build hype for him. And guess what? Nothing happened this year. Can't get on the field. Coaches don't like him. I don't know if he's sleeping through every team meeting in the world, but Michael Tinsley was getting on the field. He earned himself a role with Jamar Chase earlier in this year. He had a red zone target earlier this year with the full starters. So now you take away the highest usage weapon in football, and you put a shadow corner one-on-one on T. Higgins. Tinsley's also a big-ass dude. This is a big wide receiver, a big red zone target that's going to be likely getting cornerback 2 coverage all game long. And the coaching staff like him. It's under the radar. I was kind of hoping to get a very nice price on it because maybe people wouldn't think about it at all, but people caught up enough, honestly. I was a little surprised at 500 on MGM as well. Good find right there. But yeah, I think it's probably the total that is making the price a little bit worse, just because those numbers are going to get inflated in general. But honestly, I like him more than Yoshivas as a guy in this game in terms of red zone, at least. So yeah, give me Tinsley. I think he'll be a red zone weapon. Coaches like him, and this is a good game script. I just think it's a very under the radar slot, and I'm curious what they open his receiving yards at as well.
Okay, well, we'll be looking. I'm ready to attack that when that comes out. I don't think we have anything else to do. Anything else from you here? I'm looking at the chat popping through. I don't think we have anything else there for questions. But anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here today?
There's one more I wanted to look at, but I don't know if there's a number up. But either way, shout out to your Packers for getting Noah Fant injured. Or not Noah Fant, sorry. Freaking Tucker Kraft injured, right? And then instead of Fitzpatrick, they spawn in a new imaginary guy to come catch a touchdown. Like, they can't even ever follow the depth chart.
You got 3 white tight ends that are all just they all block really well, and they all just rotate.
It's like, oh, okay, Fitzpatrick. And like, no, that's a new guy. That's a new random big white blocking type. Like, they just spawned him in there just to take his place. So that one really cracked me up the other week. But the other guy, Musgrave, great coach speak coming into this week. I think he could be a pretty good. But I haven't seen any lines for him. But that's just another one to keep an eye out for as well. Yeah, 525 for a Musgrave touchdown is pretty damn good. So keep that one in mind.
Musgrave was Kraft before Kraft.
I know. People don't remember.
Got hurt. He was the guy coming out of camp that took over. He actually beat Kraft out first year. So I obviously know Kraft took a lot of steps forward. Obviously, I'm not putting him down or anything. I'm just saying, like, he literally won the spot. He won the number 1 spot in camp there. But, yeah, should be good. I think I might have to look at some more of these tackle props when they get closer. So, because I do like a couple of these, and maybe I can find a ladder spot somewhere on a couple of these spots. Like, there's quite a few, dude. I like attacking Sherwood against Baltimore, because those dudes about to run the hell out of that ball, dude. And Sherwood just gets every tackle. So if they can give me maybe a little ladder option, I'm gonna have to do that, dude. Yeah, because they just never make any negative plays, so that he has to do everything. Yeah, Musgrave did. There's 3 tight ends. That's the tough part. And that game was just a fucking mess. So,
well, the thing is, Musgrave played like so little, like an insanely little amount. And then LaFleur after the game was like, "This can't happen." And he's like, "This is like," he literally like addressed it head on. So to me, that's a good sign of next week. We're gonna, make sure to
do that. Jake Ferguson, they gave him like two targets on the next drive when he had a 0-catch game. So Stafford 225, Amon-Ra 60. Goff's in the dome. I have no issue with those. Last thing I want to bring up before we get bring out here. Did you see Campbell talking about trying to get Montgomery more carries now? Did you see that? Did you see him talk about that? I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know. Gibbs is kind of just cooking everybody. So I'm like, okay, like, are we just doing that because you think he's going to get injured or what? I don't know why you would want to take it away from him.
Yeah, I did see it. Although I did see that the Coach Speak Index guys who like kind of, have they're like responsible, like they crushed the new stuff. They did on their podcast say that there was some context that might be needed there, and I haven't watched it yet. So I was curious if maybe there was something I was missing. But yeah, he's now the play caller as well, so it's not even like he has to go through someone else. He can kind of go right into it. Yeah, 52.5. I was looking at it yesterday. Is definitely, I think, a solid number. But yeah, I agree. It's hard to get away when Gibbs is that good. I think this offense is going to crush. Giants are at bottom, 3 rush defense in football. Like both of them should have awesome games. But as you get later into the game, it's normally Monty who kind of steps in a little bit more, especially if you get more towards a blowout. And that's pretty possible in this game. Although, hey, King
14,
James,
right? 13.5.
Yeah, that feels a bit much, honestly. But yeah, just because Jameis can fucking backdoor, man. Like he can sneak you in there,
Yeah, I was just kind of pissed at the game last week just because they just tried to run the fuck out of the ball. I know it worked.
It works. Singletary was easy money. I'm so mad I didn't play that officially. I had some rush attempts for him. They like Singletary, and Tracy was actually pretty good too.
Yeah. It was a good game. But we will get out of here, guys. We'll catch you on Monday, ready to go yet again and get after it. Hopefully talking about a sweep here. We'll see you guys Monday. I believe the Monday game is the Niners. Niners at home against the Panthers. Jesus Christ. Okay. The over 500, right? I think the Panthers are over, or maybe they are 500, but the Panthers are right there. They were over 500 going into last week. So I don't remember if they won or lost that last game, but Panthers are playing good football, I guess, if you want to say it like that, but maybe we'll get to talk about some props there as well. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck this weekend, and we'll catch you on Monday.